And welcome to Magnathea Builder Worlds. This is the Road to Salute Part 3. Yes, Part 3. It's the first full week of March, and Salute is now less than 6 weeks away. Yeah, well, it's coming on. There's been some advances since the last video. The last video saw me make the prototype of a thin, long apartment for my Judge Dredd block. Well, the news now is, let's bring this camera over here. The good news is now I've got a set of apartments all in here. Now, obviously, they need painting and finishing, that kind of thing. We need to put the details on them. There's the windows got to go in here. These bottom two are shops, because these are all going to be on a run of a shopping mall that's going to come out here. And then these are apartments above. I've got doors coming. I've got to put window shutters in, and they need painting, but they're pretty much done. I'd say at this point, before we go any further, massive thanks to my friend Gary, who came around and spent an entire Saturday in my workshop cutting and sticking bits of foam core to get these to this point, which is really cool. And then if this is going to be one unit, and then if you imagine there's going to be a gap in between, which I have a board on it, all the Judge Dredd kind of game details and bits and pieces, and then on the next board, let's just move these. The top of the next board is going to look like this. Hang on. The second unit then is going to have Smiley O'Reilly's Shuggy Hall on the ground floor. Banana, both of that, and then apartments above that as well. Which is all cool. This set of apartments needs to be done, needs doors put in, and is at pretty much a similar state as the other white foam core stuff is. And I've actually got one more of these inserts to do, which is going to go up here. Whoops, I broke that. Then, down this side, there's a gap in between the two things. We're going to have a lift shaft at the back there, which is then going to come down into this unit, down into the car box. So the top part of my Judge Dredd stuff is coming on very nicely. Phew, with 6 weeks to go. On the top, up here, zip, is where my monorail is going to be. There's going to be a monorail station up there and a monorail going across the whole thing. I have still got some more monorail track to make. So now, this video is particularly interested in what's going in these empty spaces down here. Actually, underneath the first lot of scenery we looked at, because the first lot of scenery is all houses, and then the plan. Well, let's find the plan. I've never shown you the plan. It's because I've only just recently drawn the plan. Hang on. So I don't know how well this is going to show up because it's all in pencil. But let's bring that right up here. So we've got one cube unit over here, which has got O'Reilly's bar in it, and then houses above it, and a load of empty space. There's going to be a bit in the middle, and then we've got over here. This is completely a waste of time. Apartments and shops, space underneath it, and there's going to be a shopping mall coming out of this level, and down here there's going to be car park coming out here. There, that was really clear, wasn't it? Helped a lot. So, if this is then O'Reilly's, this is going to be car parking down here. A couple of layers of car parking, staircases, and the main gaming board is going to be in the car park, and then out of it using one of my large white boards like this, which is going to be the same height as the car park, and then the game will take place there. Cool, huh? Be propped up, and it will run nicely out of there, and there'll be vehicles and car parks and pillars and stuff. On the other side, where the apartments are that I was making last time, this space is going to be for what's the term? All the kind of the gubbins that make a block work. That's not very helpful at all, is it? All the kind of necessaries, the boilers, the generators, the sewage kind of waste. If you think about a mega city block, right, which is over 1 kilometre tall and might have, I don't know, 25, 30,000, 5,000 people living in it, there's going to be a lot of poo. You need sewage systems. You need power generators. You need water piping, all kinds of other stuff. So these two areas here are going to have lots of industrial kind of stuff built into it. There doesn't have to be tons and tons of it. It doesn't have to be super complex, because apart from anything else, by the time I put my gaming board at this level to play on the to have out as the shopping mall. We're not going to see masses of this, so what I want this to be is a bit of a treat for anybody who kind of gets down low and looks inside. Probably be lit up LED wise, and it's going to be all kind of like industrial looking and stuff. But this video, I'm going to start building some of this, and I've decided that what I'm going to do with this is a lot of this is going to be a mix of foam core build and trash bashing, right? So I've got underneath my desk down there, I'm not digging for the cack for this video. I have collected cack specifically for doing some trash bashing, and I'm going to make some things to go in here. I'm going to be kind of cunning with this because I also want some of the things that I'm about to trash bash for another project that I've got coming up later this year. I'm not going to tell you about that project right now, mainly because if I tell you about that project, I'll get completely lost in that project, which I'm super excited about, as are we all. But if I tell you about that project now, I'll get lost in telling you all about that. This really cool, amazing new thing we're going to be doing later in the year, and I won't get my models made for Salute, which I keep getting told to get on with anyway. So trash bash is what we're about to do. Plus, no, that's it. Yeah, okay, so, got me? Good, right, so what do I need? Well, the first thing I need to do is to do this part of the video. I've put the bloody clever cube thing on the, and what I really need to do is get that out of the way and get my workbench back. So I'm going to do that, clear that, get all the housing units back up the other end of the workshop out of the way, and then we're going to start thinking about trash bashing. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the boxes that I've made to go in the bottom of this to put the trash bash stuff in. Apart from anything else, that will save me depth. I don't have to go all the way to the back of this model. I can build it into that, and that will work quite well. But I also want a lot of these bits to be stuff that I can take out and move around and use them as kind of like giant scatter terrain on a Judge Dredd table if I want to play a different kind of game just on a flat tabletop. But I think I still might build them into some of the boxes. That would be quite cool, because then I can attach stuff easily to the side walls and the roof and that kind of thing. So yeah, let's move this out of the way and get on with it. Because apart from anything else, it's Tuesday, whatever the day of March is. I don't know, must be about the 4th. Tomorrow's Wednesday. On the 6th, on Thursday, I'm going to Spain for 4 days. It's a birthday present for my lovely wife, and we're going to have a lovely time. And I'm going to go and not take hobby stuff with me. Apart from the rules of Call of Cthulhu, probably the rules of Judge Dredd, and the draft edition of Burrows and Badgers edition 2. Going to sit on a hotel rooftop reading wargame rules. Excellent. Right, move the thing, get it done now. Okay, so this I think I'm going to work with things to fit in this box. I'm not necessarily going to stick them in necessarily, but I quite like the idea of using a box like this to restrict the size of the space in the Kallax in the clever cube. First thing I've got 2 things out of my cack that I didn't have to go digging through the cack for because I'd collected them. This is a hot chocolate pot, instant hot chocolate from a supermarket whose name rhymes with Piddle. Other supermarket brands are available. The problem, of course, with working with plastic like this is the fact that the stuff doesn't stick very well to it. I could probably go to use super glue. What I think I do, I want water kind of containers or vats, I suppose, or there could be anything else really, depending on what's. And they're quite big; they fit in there quite well anyway. But I want to build them up a little bit onto platforms at different heights, so they could kind of like go at different heights. Although what I could do with that is just put a platform in at a different level. So I think what I'm going to do with these is, first of all, I'm going to cut some cardboard strips that are going to put around these nicely banded kind of shapes. Because that way there I could stick stuff to them easier. They need kind of like little control panels on, and they could do with some rivets and stuff. I've then got these lids off kind of bleach bottle kind of, or I don't know, toilet, I can't, but some cleaning product or another that might just end up on the top in one way or another, just to kind of like help out and give a different bit of shape to it. It's really difficult when you do this trash bash stuff to make it not look like trash bash stuff, but I don't mind if some of it is visibly trash bashed. Because one of the problems with wargaming, of course, is the fact that so much it costs so much money. I'd visibly like to have some of the stuff on my table that looks like it's been made. It's going to look good, that's the plan, but I want it to look like I've made it, I've recycled, I've built stuff with trash, and I'm not entirely relying on plastic kits or 3D printed stuff or whatever else. This is kind of like old school wargaming scenery and terrain, and it's a lot of fun to do. So yeah, I need some breakfast cereal box, which I'm going to cut into strips. These bits here are, well, about 18mm wide, the flat bit, so I'm going to cut roughly 10mm cardboard lengths. They're going to go around, stick them all together on one side. I'll then probably run a thing over the joins, don't know how well I'm join them up, and then that will give me surface to stick other things on, and also make it a little easier to paint. I could go up that way with it. In fact, what I'm almost kind of tempted to do is to sink the base here, because it's wider, into a foam core platform that comes out the side. And then I quite like the texture on the lid. Gives me a nice flat surface to stick other things to. I could easily cut a cardboard circle to put in there, which will again give me easy stuff to stick things to. I think that might be a good way forward. So it needs strips around here and a foam core cardboard base. In fact, what I might do is kind of like stick two together like this, in a foam core base with a gap in between, and that will allow me to have pipes and things going backwards and forwards as well at a different height. So that might be quite a cool plan. Two of those in a thing. So yeah, I need to find some offcuts of foam core. Okay, so I've got some offcuts of foam core. This is my box that's going to go in the Clever Cube unit, and it is 24cm deep or thereabouts. 23 and oh, it's 24cm deep. And what I quite fancy, conveniently, these things are about 8.5cm in diameter. So if I make a thing that's 12cm wide, and then can be up to at least 30 something centimeters, 32cm across. He says going with his off. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Look! That's almost made to go in there, right? Okay, so I'm pretty much going to use this bit of foam core as is. If I sink, that's perfect. But if I then take these and stick these in here, and then they're about 12cm, I could have two with a gap in between. That'd be quite cool. And then I can make another one, the same thing, but make it taller. So I could have two kind of like up here, and then two kind of down here on the floor. And that will give an interesting thing to look at. And then I could fill up other bits and pieces in there. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So we're going to give that a go. Because the other thing is I've got these things, which are lids from Airwick air freshener canisters that go in one of those things that spray in your room regularly. And I'm liking two of those stuck together like that. I'm going to put a band around the middle. So they'll make like giant barrels, but again, they'll be kind of like fluid containers. It could be either fuel canisters downstairs in the boiler room, or they could be, you know, they could be all kinds of things. So I'm going to have a go at doing those as well. But let's do, so I'm going to take this piece of foam core, I'm going to cut 12cm down there, and then I'm going to work out two holes that go into that. Let's have these things in them. Okay, so I'll get rid of my box. Move all my other bits of crap out the way. Yeah, did you hear that? That's what it was. Lift my chair up. Don't know why it's sunk down so bloody long. Okay. Okay, now I'm only going to show the odd bit of me measuring and cutting a piece of foam core, because frankly I know quite a lot of people who watch my videos like to have me kind of whittering on in the corner of the room, saying things like digging through the cack and look at the whimsy on that, but after a while, whimsy or no whimsy, it gets a bit tiresome. So look, there's a line, right, drawn on a bit of foam core, which I'm now going to cut off. What's kind of cool is the other offcut is this bit here is going to end up making the size of this stand it up. So right, and I don't want the whole thing, although this would fit in perfectly. It doesn't necessarily need to. Put one in there like that. This is the bit. This is still the bit I like. Is the kind of like fiddling around with it. So look, if I stand that one in there, and stand that one in there, I can have a bit of a decent gap. What's going on there? It's a cack. I can have a bit of a decent gap in between. Gaps on the edge for figures to run around as well. I could offset them, but no, I think more than anything else it would make a lot of sense. This would come up straight in there. And that'll give me room to build something up, maybe, or put around the edges or what have you. Okay, that seems like a plan to me. That will be Ludo helping, because I think my wife's just got home. Haha. So now I've actually cut this end bit off. So this is now not the full width of that box. It's only, let's go, 27.5 centimetres wide. I've drawn round 2 of the tubes, set them about 10mm or so from the end each. Gap in the middle, which is enough to get figures through and that kind of thing. And also, importantly, get your hand in. So, actually now the challenging bit, the most tricky bit, is going to be cutting out the circles. I hate cutting out circles. I used to have a cunning little circle cutter somewhere, but I don't know what I've done with it. So, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get a scalpel blade and do this as carefully as we can. It's also an added thing that was a bit of a pain in the bum. Whoops. That we've got, this flares out at the bottom here. Don't know how much you can see that. You can certainly, if I take the lid off, you can see there's a bit of a flare here. It's much more pronounced at this end. It's a much bigger flare. But I don't know if it's the same width. It's a tiny little bit wider, I think, than the lid. Although this is a flare, it's got to be the same width as that, because that's going to go in there like that. So let's see if I can find a scalpel, which is under this. Scalpels in this box here, which has got cackle over it, which you have to... Yeah, you don't need to do it. Super sharp, pointy scalpel. Good way of cutting circles. How am I doing? Gone all the way around. Not bad. Will it get the thing through it? Of course it bleeding won't. Oh, either way. I'm going to force it through. Yes, we can. Yeah. Oh, go on, get in there. Right. Gonna be tight. Ah, shit. Right, okay. Popped it out. No, it's good. Right, okay. So that's this down there like that. Actually sitting on that flared out bit, which is pretty cool. That's going to give me the height how I want it to be. The only problem is this stupid goon that I haven't cut this hole out before I forced it onto that one. Nuts. Oh, well, that was not the plan. Although, but also the plan is it's going to go that way. But that still doesn't help because I still haven't cut that hole out. Shitbags. Okay, back to the drawing board. Don't watch this bit, it's going to be painful. Okay, here we go then. 2 pots in the thing, doing that. If I measure down to the floor, from the bottom of the foam core base, I think that's about 30mm. If I cut 30mm strips, I could build walls around that. Then that will give it a solid base, and then I could get to the point of sticking it in, I think. And what I'm probably going to do, I would imagine actually, best thing to use would be hot glue. I'll hot glue all around that and all around the other side. It doesn't matter how messy it gets inside because nobody's going to be seeing inside, but I'm hoping that'll do the trick. So yeah, 30mm strips cut. Go. 3 centimetres there. Couple more lines over here. what am I doing? Funnily enough. Annoyingly, this new rule is not exactly 30mm, but otherwise I'll just lay that on and do that. Still, I could still do that, couldn't I? I could just cut them out this width. But hell no, we're going to do that. 30mm go. Shit, it's too long. I could. Never mind. Okay. Two cuts to go through there. Well, this has got a feeling of the good old days. This of making fuel canisters and tanks out of Pringle pots and things. This, of course, is a really good technique to do exactly that kind of stuff in almost any period, anything you like. It's handy if it's sci-fi because it can look a bit funkier. Right, I've cut some 30mm end sections that are 10mm, 10 centimeters. Looking suspiciously like they're going to be too freaking short. Let's go sit under there like that. Wow, that's way too small. How did I get that measurement? Because that's 12. That's 12 centimeters, you nana. Oh, damn. Okay. 12 centimeters. Could do it off that. But that's not, that's only giving me one end. Ah, fuck. Well, that could be big enough. Okay, right, I completely made a error with my measuring ends. That's fucking crap. They need to be 11, not 30. Right, but anyway, look, bollocks. Cut 10 more bits of cardboard, then stick them on. So now I've got my two long walls, two end walls. I know that's only one, but there's another one down here on the desk, just there. And I'm going to glue on the underside and pin these in place. Right. Oh, shit, glue everywhere. And then I'm probably going to put them on some kind of base, I think, as well. But not until I have hot glued the jars, the fuel canisters, the fuel tanks, the water tanks, whatever they want to be, into place. So, okay, pin. Yeah. There come the flat-headed dressmaking pins again. It's so good for this kind of job, working with foam core. Hold everything in place while it glues. Invaluable bit of gear. You can take them out. Alternatively, with this kind of thing, you just leave them in. They look like rivet heads. Works perfectly well. Around the corner. Stick out just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit of trim. There we go. So now I've got a foam core box in place around that. That gives, it's nice, starting to give some formation to this piece of scenery. Got these cool bits here, like that, the texture there. So the next bit, after I've got just go out and have some dinner, have some sushi, is going to be turn them upside down, get the hot glue gun out. It doesn't quite reach. Hot glue gun, and glue those boxes, I think, into place, those pots, and then we can work out the next bit, because this is just the gubbins of it. If I glue them in here, then I can put a base on the bottom if necessary. Nice, excellent. Right, time for dinner. Okay, so I have put the cardboard strips around the tank. Cool. Starting to look less like a hot chocolate jar. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I put these strips then up here, up verticals. These verticals, more than anything else, I put one in to cover up where the cardboard joined, which is here, and then I put two others in to just kind of like make sense. And now what I want to do is add rivets. Now I've never done this before. Well, I have added rivets, but not like this before. What I've done is I bought myself a kit of rhinestones. Yeehaw! So for a few minutes, this model's going to be sparkly as. Oh shit. I don't know how well this is going to work. I'm going to put little spots on each bit, and I'm going to put a rivet onto each bit of this, and we're going to see how this works. These tiny little rhinestones. I bought a load of these. Well, it must have been on Amazon. I'll put these in place. Can't even work out which fucking way round they're supposed to go. I It's got to be that way up, isn't it, surely? Too much super glue, Dad. Hopefully. Yeah, that looks all right. I've got a pair of tweezers. The tweezers are working alright, but then I can't get them off the tweezers. It's almost like I need another tool. I'm going to use a pencil to poke as well. Yeah. See if we can come down here. Watch the maestro at work. Not. Okay, so little rhinestone out of the pot. Get it up the right way. Pick it up with my tweezers. Use the knobbly bit of my pencil to hold it in place. Oh yeah, that works. Rhinestone. Stick it to the tweezers. Just the one. Ping that across the desk. I hope you're appreciating this. My dedication to my model making. For a few minutes it's going to look really sparkly. Probably needs a few more on here actually. So the gaps have got fairly big, but that show, can we see that? Yeah, look, if I get my big halo lighter, shine it on the light, sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. I'm going to do that down each strip. You know what, that might bloody well work as it goes. They're kind of neat. The strips aren't completely as neat as they could be, and it's a bit wonky, but do you know what, I think that's just going to add to the charm. He says, hopefully. Right, so a spot of glue on each band. There we go, like that, and that in the middle. In the middle there. Come on, Mr. Rhinestones, here we go. I'm getting the hang of this, I think. Not the wrong freaking way, there we go. Definitely a thing that's completely new to me, but can't remember which channel I saw this on or whether this just popped into my head. Whether I saw them somewhere else, but it does work quite well. Bloody fiddly, mind you. Here we go. Get off the goddamn tweezers. There we go. There's another one lying on the desk. I mean, I don't know. I bought this kit ages ago. Loads in there. Different sizes, which is going to be handy. Doesn't make other models this year. Drag out some more rhinestones onto my desktop. Pick that one up. These tweezers are quite cool though. I would have been knackered if it didn't have a set of tweezers with it. There's enough moisture at the moment. Whoop, in the glue. To allow me to move it around just. Move it, position it in place. Give it a moment or two to dry off. It's hard to tell. It's kind of hard to tell how effective it is going to be until they're actually kind of like painted, but I think they're going to be alright. Certainly give some idea of rivets. I could probably do with go around and sticking a few more rivets on the rest of it. But I'll see what it looks like first. What I might do is just paint the rest of the model. I think if it needs more rivets, I'll add more rivets. That might be the way to do it. There's one. And then, after I've done this one, I don't think I'm going to push my luck tonight and go to bed. But what I am going to do, shut up talking for a minute, concentrate on picking up these things, sticking them on the doodah. There we go, I need to do two more. There we go. you fucker. Not the wrong way. Not the wrong way, Tim. Yeah. Give them a minute to dry on. Well, that's dry. I've had to get a super glue and 2 of these together. And so now what I'm going to do, I think, is take a bit of thin card, go around it. Take a different bit. Because they look, they're going to look quite good. Some kind of storage tank as well. A different kind of storage tank for a different kind of liquid. I think I want 3 straps on that. Top, middle, bottom kind of thing. I'm getting the best out of my old cereal box here. None of them need to be very thick bands, they just need to be. Again, I'm going to use one to cover up the join in the middle, and then the rest will be more for, would seal it top and bottom, but I think more than anything else it's going to be about just looking aesthetically pleasing. Doing this by eye, that's about 8mm, I think. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer it up to the barrel, thus wrap it round, try and work out where the 2 bits have got to be to join up, and then I'm going to cut it at that point. I've got to make a mark on the fucking thing. Where's my pen gone? Right. Okay. I'm doing all of this with super glue because these kind of plastics are notoriously difficult to use other glues with. There's a bead of super glue all the way along there, you can probably see that in the glistening. I'm going to get my barrel, as it is, wrap my cardboard strap as twir around the middle. Hopefully it'll meet up around that side. Oh shit. Okay, have made the error of squeezing the plastic lids. They're not very securely glued, but I'm hoping this of course will help hold the whole thing together. So I'm going to hold that there for a minute while I'm doing that. While I'm doing that and holding this with this hand I will just show you possibly the underside. Can we see the glue there? I have used hot glue in there just to glue those 2 jars in there. That's pretty good. I'm now going to put a solid base on that as well. So this then, I won't show you the whole process, I don't need to now. This now needs cardboard trim around the exposed bits of foam core, as per usual. And then I think it needs some foam cardboard detail on the top as well, just to get rid of, and along the sides to get rid of that kind of like completely flat surface, make a more interesting surface to paint and look at. Then I need to come up with something that's going to go on the top, and maybe some pipes or something in between. But I've got to do all the cardboard strapping on there. I'm not going to bother showing you me doing the cardboard strapping on there because it's exactly the same as cardboard strapping on that bit. But I need some things. One of the things I did find, although I've got a lost one, hang on, just some little detaily things. I thought I had some kicking around here. Oh, the insides. Harumph. Well, isn't that typical? Isn't that bloody typical? When you think you've got something you want, they're all there when you don't want them, and then when you do actually want one, and go, oh, this is the thing I'm talking about, they've all buggered off. Right. Well, how annoying is that? Okay, I'll dig one out in a minute. I'll show you it then. But anyway, I'm thinking about things that go on the top of these, because they need to be less obviously ajar. Right, there we go, look. There's a band around the middle of my barrel. I'm going to put one round the top and one round the bottom. And then there, big barrel, big vat of something. Cool. Okay, oh shit, drop one. Found the things I was looking for. First of all, there's this funky thing, which is the inside of a coffee pod. I can't remember whether we had Nespresso or Tassimo or whatever, but they're kind of really funky little things, so they're definitely going to feature on top of that. And then I've been given a bunch of these as well, which are contact lens holders. The ones that say L&R on them aren't so great, but actually, unscrew that. And, come on you bastard. Unscrew that. And you've got this really funky kind of double-headed kind of shaped thing, which I think is definitely going to sit real well on the top of that. Either as a hatch or maybe with pipes coming out and going over the other side. So some kind of arrangement on there. I think possibly a cardboard circle cut on the top first also. Be easy to paint and stick things to. Which is looking good. Looking good. And then I want down here somewhere some kind of control panel or some kind of access panel or something, but it is 1 AM, so I'm going to bed. Do the rest tomorrow. Aha. Okay, I'm inside this evening, in the living room, keeping the dogs company because my wife's in bed. And I decided to do something with these, which of course many of you will recognise as filament spools for 3D printing with. I'll get around to what's been 3D printed from another day. Lots and lots. Supplied by my mate Harry, who is, hopefully you've come across his stuff before. He has a little Etsy page called Fable Faye. Makes some really cool shit. Got to feature one of his things a bit later on, but I'm going to use these. All I'm going to do for the minute is stick them all together. One tool column like this. Using filament spools is not a new idea, but I want to use these to make some kind of engine core type thing. So the first thing I want to do is stick them all together. I'm going to use Yoo-hoo glue, and I'm going to use close pegs to clip them all together, see if I can hold it all together. Then I'm going to go back to sticking together other bits. So first one, let's see how well they line up. Rather depends on if it's used all the same filament spools. Annoyingly, no. 3 Creality ones and 2 Esun ones, but they'll line up together all right. Anyway, I've discovered that these 5 spools stacked up will fit inside beautifully one of my cardboard sleeves that's going in the cube unit. So this is going to be part of the, I don't know, air filtration system of the block, maybe, who knows, don't know. All it is at the minute is to be much more use if they're stuck together. So stick that in there like that. Close peg. Close peg. I could really do some stronger clamps, but I haven't got any. Close peg. You get the idea. We'll have a look in a minute. Okay, so here's my 2 tanks. Obviously going to need painting. I'm going to put some plastic circles on top, faces. I've made a little set of stairs, literally just out of foam core offcuts. I'll cardboard trim those, they'll work for that. And if I do this for a bigger figure, I'll just have a couple of steps, and then I'm going to find 2 other tubes this time, which I'm going to set into the same bit of card. Higher up, I'll go a different kind of thing. Again, part of the water filtration or water stores or something down below in the bottom of the hive, but just more interesting kind of like things to look up, fill up, and then the other games I'll end up with a bunch of industrial kind of like scenery, which is quite cool. I've got a Mantic train crate stuff that's arrived that I'm going to be able to put in between them. I think bits and pipes and stuff. I like the workshop ones that come in like the 2 bits. Look at this super complicated pipe kit from Mantic. Thanks lads. But, yeah. So I'm going to put this one to one side. Another piece of foam core. And this one I want to offset these 2 things. And I'm going to make this one a little bit higher, I think. So they stand up even taller. I've got to be careful with the fact that the whole unit is only... Oh, it's alright, I've got loads of room. So, offset that. Fiddle with it. It's very wide that way, so I'm going to shorten it a little bit. But I quite like it. I like having space in between, that's kind of cool. And the pipes on these sticking out and going out in other ways. Right, okay. I'll have to mark that there. Clear up my workspace. Do it all again. Go. Okay, so in this I'm interested in different levels, so what I've done is I've made a little foam core box that's about 35mm tall, which I'm going to mount this tube on. Other hot chocolate brands are available. I'm not going to put it in central, leave it offset a little bit, because then figures will be have enough space just to perch around the edges, which will be cool. And then that will be able to take it up higher than this one. In fact, I should have made it a little bit taller than that really, but never mind. That'll work. Yeah, cool. Nice. So now I've got this. In fact, I'm even tempted to make another little box to stand it on so it takes it up high still. Well, this is bloody fiddly, just for a bunch of pipes. Thanks Mantic for making it more complicated than it needs to be. Hey, it's kind of cool though. What's going on here? Oh crap, I must need 2 bags of it as well. Is it 2 bags? Yeah, because look, there's only one half a T-junction in one bag, so there must be another bag as well. Interesting. Right, these are going to be gorgeous. These will help elevate the cardboardness of the whole thing into something more than that. So, I'm assuming that there's a cross piece, they just click together. Polystyrene cement together. Oh no, they do look like they're going to click. Are they? Oh, I don't fucking know. How's that work? Jesus. Bloody fiddly, isn't it? There we go. Click, click, clunk, click every trip. I'm going to stick that. Bloody hell. I wanted these rather than workshop ones because I didn't want them to look all ad mech and workshoppy, but Jesus, this is fiddly. Okay, so we're talking stick it together, put an end on it. The ends need sticking on as well. Okay, so it's quite interesting, quite an interesting kit, but bloody fiddly for what it is. Maybe it's going to give me loads of modular kind of like feel to it. We'll see what happens. Tubey sections and stuff. Blimey, all I wanted was a bit where I've got pipes coming out and going in. Alright. Let's go around the corner a bit. Do that. Yeah, I think it's going to be alright. Jesus. Fiddly diddly, mind you. Yeah, but it'll be kind of cool with pipes and stuff coming out. I like this one's got, look, this one's got a rupture in it, which is quite neat. Okay. So I need to stick some of these together to get an idea of what it might look like on this bit. Right, so let me polish some up. Let's have a look at the box. There are no instructions. Right. Just to say what glue to use. Thanks, Mantic. Figure this out myself. Okay, well, I'm going to stick some of these together. We'll have a look in a moment. Okay, so just fiddling around with bits of pipe. I reckon I can have a bit coming out of this tower over here, going out that way, then leading across to the base of this one. Should be quite cool. It's going to be tall enough to get judges under that. Gives a bunch of cool cover there. For bigger models, it'll just be stepping over stuff. In fact, I'm probably going to use this one. It'll just be interesting then, because it'll have a. It's quite neat. I like this little modular system it's got going on here. It clips on the end, and then I can have a vent of some description or whatever. Sit on the end like that. That's quite cool. Don't know what I'm moaning about Mantic terrain crates sometimes. This stuff's quite cool. Vent's no good though, because it's kind of like, oh, I don't know, it could be all. Well, look, there's one with rivets on the end, which is quite cool as well. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Just going to go sticky down the floor. Take that one off there. Oh shit. Oh, whoops. Sticky down the floor like that. Then that's a right angle, and an angle bit. That's going to go in there like that. Then that's going to go. It's quite cool because these ends then have these little feet that attach like that. Actually, that could. And they'll then sit. Get it right. These little feet now will go on. And let's support that. It's over there. Fit like that, fit on down like that. Another fit like that, a little footy thing there. One, two, and this one should be fine like that. Fill it in there. Then if I want, I could take another one coming out this side and another just going down the floor. That's wicked. That is what we're going to do. Nice one, Mantic terrain crate. So what do I need to do? I need to stick down this corner here, work out from backwards from there, basically. Yeah, nice. Okay, let's do that. Take this lot. Slide that off there, out of the way for a minute. And then I'm going to raise this off the floor. Actually, if I raise that up 20mm, that would be kind of cool. So, a 20mm riser. Then stick this corner down here. Stick, well, the pot doesn't have to go on yet, but then I can stick on with things. Work out where this one's going to go. Gives me plenty of room going through here for figures and stuff, and even with the pipes and bits and pieces, it's going to be really cool, and there'll be enough space for figures to go underneath that. Right, so some 20mm strips of foam core first of all. Turn that into a box. Let's do it. Okay, so this is stuck down, this is stuck down. This isn't, nor is the tube over the other side. But I think that's got me to the point where I'm probably done with this update. It is exactly 1 month until salute. And I've got so much to do. Oh crap. Thanks for watching. Join me next time on the road to salute, part 4. Well, I'll be doing some other stuff in a hurry because I've got 1 month to go until salute 52. Damn. This is Magathea Builder Worlds. Over and out. Crap. Right, let's get on with this. I've got a car park to make yet. I've got dice towers to make. I've got all the B&B scenery to do. That's a lot of work, isn't it? Damn. Right, okay, crack on. See you soon. Bye.